keep forgetting. So I am learning calligraphy. There's this beautiful calligraphy book I'm learning. It's called Modern Calligraphy by Kestrel Montez, and she is amazing. I think I've talked to her about her in past videos. This is my practice. So the key to beautiful calligraphy is, one, it's not cursive, and it's actually a series of strokes you put together to make letters. And the cool thing about calligraphy is you practice these basic strokes, and you practice them over and over and over and over, and then you put them together, and then that's how you create the words, the letters that creates the words. And so then it just looks gorgeous, just absolutely gorgeous. I just love it. And so when I saw this woman, she wrote a book, and I was like, I have to buy this book. I'm going to learn calligraphy. So it's I've been practicing quite a little bit each day is how you actually get better. And I was thinking, oh, so that is the power of consistency. Something I've always resisted. Like, I hate consistency. It sounds so boring and dull and so non-exciting. So, like, what's the big deal? Like, why is consistency so important? And you know, like, I was thinking about this one time I went to the High Performance Academy with Brendon Burchard, and he was talking about the beautiful order of the universe. And he said, but you know, some of his clients would be like, but Brendon, I'm a free spirit. Like, why can't I just fly by the seat of my pants and do stuff whenever I feel like it, you know? And he's like, no, you got to schedule this stuff out, put it in your calendar so you actually get to do it, and you're not gonna get stopped by all these distractions and such. And he's basically talking about consistency. And he's like, you know what I love about the universe? How orderly it is, and how much you can predict it. You know, like, it's expanding at a predictable rate. You know where all the constellations are, you know where all the planets are. Like, the universe is very predictable. You know, when certain weather patterns happen and stuff like that, you know what the weather's going to be like. And so he was saying, it's all about consistency. You know, it's all about scheduling. It's all about predicting. It's all about knowing exactly how you're going to do it. And I was practicing those letters, and it was consistency. And it's like, even with the practicing of consistency, if you look at the letters closely, I'm not even doing them consistently. Like, you can see some of them look very consistent, and some of them are slightly off, you know, and it gets better at the end as I figure out, like, oh, how should I have my paper oriented? You know, what does the upstroke look like? What does the downstroke look like? And the more I practice, the easier it gets. But, like, even if I look at those things, like, they're not consistent. I strive for consistency, but it's not consistent. It's not like a robot, you know, doing it the same way every single way. And I was thinking, even something as simple as learning calligraphy, it seems like it's such a straightforward thing, right? You practice the strokes and you do it, and it should be easy. And it's not necessarily easy. Like, even doing something like exercising every day, or drinking water every day, or getting enough sleep every day, doing your meditation practice, doing your journaling, whatever, you know, habits you have that are important to your life. Like, even something as simple as that, I don't always manage to do. And I was thinking, wow, the consistency is so important. and it's a challenge, you know. It's a challenge to maintain that kind of practice. And yet, it's where it makes all the difference. Like, if I don't keep practicing the calligraphy, the strokes, I'm never going to get good at it. If I don't keep sitting and being with this notion of, like, if you have the last 3 days, I've been on a quest to really meet my future self, the one that is fully actualized, fully manifested, the one that is doing the thing that I'd like to do, which is being a full-time life coach. And I'm thinking of ways to be distracted. I'm thinking of ways to not think about it. I'm thinking I took action right after my call, and I was brainstorming about it, but just it's something like I really want to turn away from. It's just, I feel this resistance, and it's a challenge, and my goal obviously is to have this patted down by my next coach call, which is on Thursday. And I was like, well, I'm just going to practice my calligraphy instead of thinking and meditating on it. So I instead pull up the video or the audio and listen to my coach call while I'm doing my calligraphy, so I can keep thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it. And there's so much, there's a lot of profoundness. There's a lot of quiet. There's a lot of thinking to be done. There is a lot of sureness and faith and strategic, purposeful, deliberate action to take. And it's something to be with and sit with. And that's one of my biggest struggles, is to rush from one thing to the next. And so to sit on something and to be with something and to constantly have it in my mind and think about it all the time is something new that I'm trying on. And that's what I've been up to. This is day 4 of thinking about this. So my challenge to you is to take this quest with me. There is that version of you out there that you are dying to meet, is the version that is fully actualized, and she is doing the very thing that you would love to be doing. It is your soul's purpose. It is the thing that you came here to do, and yet you are not even close. And you have these distractions, and you have this doubt, and you have these stories, and you have these excuses, and you have the busyness of everyday life that is holding you back. And my question to you is, you already know that version of you exists. So what is she like? What does she do? What is her mindset like? What's her personality like? What action does she take? How does she think? What is her demeanor? What is her posture about her life and her purpose and her soul alignment and operating from her soul alignment and her purpose? Like, is she sure she knows what there is to do and she does it? She knows what action to take to get more clients. She knows what to do to be operating from her soul's alignment. She knows what her soul work is. She simply does what there is to do. And she's human. She fully is aware of all the distractions of our world and our day-to-day life and the stuff that could hold her back. And yet she moves forward anyways. And she does what there is to do. And she knows what it takes. And she's willing. And she does do whatever it takes, as long as it takes, until it takes. So, meet that version of you. Step into it. What is she like? What kind of person, what does it take? What kind of person does it take to live the kind of life that you like to live? In a very realistic, grounded version. Not some dreamy, fantastical, like, oh, it could never happen, with some, like, version that's so, like, unreal and so surreal that you don't believe it. Because that's the vision I always imagined. And then when I asked myself to imagine a version that was real and tangible and describable in this 3D dimension, she's pretty human. The only thing is, she's really committed. She does whatever it takes to run a very successful business that is soul aligned and speaks to her heart and soul, and for her to share herself in a way that is very deeply fulfilling and meaningful to her. Here's to you living a soul elevated life. And if you do not already have a life coach, it is time in the season of your life for one. Then reach out to me and we will connect and we will go through and discover what it is that you would like to do that gives you deep meaning and fulfillment, and get ready for some massive transformation and shifting in your life.